And we're live. Good afternoon, you handsome lot. Just wait for a few of you lovelies to come in. I've just tried ringing my good buddy Alan. Yes, how we doing? Police violence, ladies and gentlemen. Let's wait for a few of you lovelies to pop in. Oh, we're jumping on now. Look at that. Oh, that's lovely. Fantastico. How we doing, guys and girls? I'm going to share this one out myself. Let's see if we can build up a little bit of an audience. Good afternoon to you. Hello, name but ourselves can only free our minds. I like that. Sue McCallum. Hello, Susie. How are you? Right, so let me just share this one out. And then we're going to talk about Hyde Park again. There's some new stuff come to light about Hyde Park. Disgraceful behaviour by our police, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly not conducive to a decent people. And I guess that's really been my mission for the last 1,000 years, is to, why is this happening? Why? Why is this happening? Why have we got such levels of depravity, right? So yesterday in Hyde Park, the police grabbed this guy, about 5 of him, 5 constables to 1 man. They've got him by both arms, and then as they dropped him to the ground, because it seems to be they want to play musical chairs with people all the time. As they've dropped him to the ground, one of the coppers has gone down and kneed him straight in the ribs. He could have broke his ribs. Who's like Patsy? Hello, Pats. Nice to see you, Truth Seeker. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. Who's mandating this violence? Who's training the element of violence into these people? Can anyone tell me who's telling these men and women that get £30,000 a year to put on and don a uniform? Who's mandating them and saying, yeah, carte blanche, you bash them up, you do what you like with them? It's sick. It is really, really, really sick. And I hope that this guy that got kneed in the ribs yesterday is all right. I truthfully do. I really do hope that he's all right. And it's an effrontery to decent things. It really, really is. There's these blue and yellow boxes, like with cameras in them, with an antenna on the top, being placed on Britain's streets in the hundreds. So I don't know what they are. They look like little mini drones, mini robots. They're on 3 stands, like on their legs, yellow and like got the checkerboard yellow and blue with an antenna and cameras in them. Weirdo looking things, but apparently they're appearing on Britain's streets all over the place. Are we enjoying our lockdown? Are we enjoying the socialistic way of life? How you all doing amongst the peasantries out there? And I include myself in that deducement. I really do. Truth said, it looks like they believe they're above the law. Their teachings must have changed, mate. They're beating the bejesus out of us, and we just, don't worry about it, Dave. What are you making a noise for? It's all I get off my family. I'm like, well, you be careful. A clear example of why Wayward has not implied any harsh lockdown measures or protocols. We were told not allowed to see our families or friends because it's too risky, but is this okay? Nothing to see here, move along. There must be 150 coppers all stood side by side with latex gloves on in Hyde Park. And here's the thing, right? Yesterday was you're offering yourself up as a token, right? Because you're sharing all this information out around YouTube and Facebook. Let's meet in Hyde Park. Let's have a big to-do. Yeah, we're going to show the state how cushy we are and stuff. Well, they run and control the media. So no wonder there was all these coppers in Hyde Park yesterday, because you told them that you was going, and they monitor all this stuff. Unbelievable. But for the violence they used in Hyde Park yesterday, I tell you, unbelievable. Really, really is. It's just the violence. Why do we tolerate it? You know, this bothers me, because it could be me at the end of it one day. You know, I play hardball a little bit with Kent Police, with the stuff I've been doing over the years. With my missus is just going out. I'm just looking at my security cameras. Yeah, she's off. She's going around the corner. Anyone in my family? Oh, is that Dave Witcher? Yeah, got his son here. What happened? Oh, we arrested him, and he's in our custody. He's not looking too good. And you get down, he's all black and blue, bruised up. Oh, you got all the seat notes: hear no evil, speak no evil, say no evil. They're all stood there like the brass monkeys, idiots that they are. And you never get anywhere. You never get anywhere. The only thing you do is go backwards with the people of the system. There's no truth. There's no honour. They really are a cesspit. And look, I don't talk about that about the NHS, although the NHS has come under a little bit of irony lately with all its happy clapping, and they've now having their wages frozen for 2 years. And I think that's just the start of the cucumber. I really do. It's the beginning of the cucumber. It's not the end, because if you shut down the country and you stop people doing what they have to do, and let's face it, we seem to like this way of life of going out earning a few quid, and you know, that's how we like it. And it's been properly abused. The system has been abused like you've got no tomorrow. But no one really has that ability to do that now, unless you're a so-called key worker. What are you? I'm a key worker. What's one of them, please? Can someone define in the comments key worker? What's a key worker? Does anyone know? I'd say a key worker is anyone that's got to go out and go to work to put food on the table to feed their family and feed their kids. All the MPs, we've just had some information today that MPs have now had their mortgages all cleared up by this establishment because of this COVID so-called thing. Apparently there's a motion to arrest Bill Gates in the Italian Parliament. I'm just scanning down through my various media outlets. Bill Gates, very, very dangerous man, in control of vaccines. What the hell does he know about the health and wealth of an individual and their body? The man couldn't even make a computer without it getting a virus in it. You know what I mean? And now he is giving out vaccines to deal with viruses. This man is a complete cretin and an idiot. Penny drop yet? No, carry on bending over to your oppressors. And that's what you're doing. You're bending over to the oppressors. The oppressors have got you proper royally shafted. I'm hearing that there's a lot of supermarkets out there now that won't let you in without a face mask on. So go local. Go local. We've got a story the other day of our local butchers. I'm not going to say exactly where it is, just a fairly local online butchers near us. And one of my friends went in to pick up their food. They was out dog walking. And he said, we're only taking card. And she said, well, I ain't got card. I've only got £20 note on me. And he said, well, I haven't seen you. She said, no. So keep your local things going, people, if you can. Your local farm shops, wherever it is you can, keep them going. I know they're a little bit dearer, but these main supermarkets now, they are royally ripping us. Someone also was in a shop paying for their stuff, wouldn't pay by card, and said, listen, these notes are legal tender, right? You've just handled everything that I've put on that conveyor belt, although you're behind a perspex screen, which is ludicrous. The world's lost the plot. Humanity's just lost common sense and reality. And she said, you've just handled everything I've just handled, but you won't handle this piece of paper. There's a con going on here. And the cashier said, well, actually, we do have one checkout that specifically deals with cash. If legal tender has duped you into believing that it's got some reality about it, because that's the trust and it's a con, and the banks will tell you it's just a confidence trick how they print money. Well, if you've put all your faith and belief in a £15, £20, £30 that's in your pocket has value and can buy you your stuff, then the shops and the banks, if they're doling that token out, they have to accept it, people. They have to accept it. All right? They have to. So, because otherwise they're breaking the law, because it is a medium of exchange, and that is all it is. Patsy says, I'm missing my perks at work. I don't have a mortgage to me. No, I'm very fortunate that I bought and sold a few properties quite a few years ago, and I bought a very old derelict place and built and extended, and have turned it into a swan, because it was a rather ugly duckling. And I've always enjoyed creating and renovating old things that are imperishable and should be pulled down. I've always enjoyed renovating them and making them better and making them look $1 million. I really have. I've always been creative with these, these digits that God give us. And so I haven't had a mortgage since I've been at this place. We were very fortunate to do that, and life has blessed me in many ways. So that's where I'm at. But I can't imagine how people are getting on. People that are living in flats, people that are on low income, and this is the thing. They've pulled the wall from underneath you. They've got you all to believe in this system of working, paying taxes to do the right thing, and now they've just whipped it from underneath you. All for a virus, a bug, for me, which is non-existent. And I'll clarify that, because if it was real, there wouldn't be one copper in this land that would go out in the same motor with his mate without wearing a spacesuit. If this was a deadly killer disease, they'd say, no, sorry, I'm not coming in, I'm staying at home. Or I'll go out on a beat on my own. And it'd be you would see, if this was a proper killer thing, police stations, which have all been centralised now, really dangerous, people. Really, you've got no idea how dangerous this is. Everyone used to have satellite local area ones. We used to have one in this high street. Now all police houses have been turned into other properties, and sold for residential. But every copper in a local area would live in the police houses, right? Sometimes there'd be two houses side by side where the police would live in them. I remember them. I could take to still quite a few that are around in Kent, but now it's all been centralised. If this was a killer, deadly thing, they wouldn't be intercoursing with one another. They wouldn't be, no, I'm not coming in. I'll go out on my beat. I'll go home. I'll clock in, clock out from home. How's that? If people would genuinely die, because trust me, I don't care if you wear a uniform or you don't. If there was something that lethal out there, your common sense and your internal survival mechanism. Now, I have a very strong survival mechanism because I've survived many things. And you all have this inherent. It's in you. You've got this. Your inherent survival mode would say, right, I'm not doing that. And you've all had these instances over the years. You might have done something. You might have got in a car and felt uneasy and got out. You might have gone near a bus and not got on the bus and left it, or a train, or because you get this inner feeling and there's that doubt that comes over you, and you go, oh, I know, I'll wait for the next one. Now, a friend of mine years ago was bringing paper back from Belgium to Alresford in Maidstone, at Reed's paper mill, and he was a lorry driver, and he was hurtling through Belgium. He made it back to the docks, and he thought, right, I'll jump on the next ferry, and something come over him. He thought, nah, he weren't feeling it. So he thought, no, I'm going in the cafe. He went in the cafe, had a bit of grub and a cup of tea. He thought, I'll wait for the next one. And the next ferry was about an hour and a half, 2 hours later. Well, that ferry that he missed and he didn't catch was the Zeebrugge ferry, the one that turned over in the channel and killed lots and lots and lots and lots of people. And he couldn't believe how lucky he was. And we've had all these stories over the years where people have been hit in their chest with a bullet and they've had a cigarette case. Everyone's had their granddad tell all these great stories. So that's what your body is. Your body's got this inherent feeling of, no, I'm not doing it. So coppers are not immune to that feeling. They are men and women, regardless of the uniform. That's all they are. They're just men and women, ladies and gentlemen. They're not special. They're not gods. They don't have a divine right. They don't. They have this feeling. And if there was this deadly killer virus or disease or illness, whatever you want to call it, that was trucking people left, right, and centre, and there was bodies left, right, and centre, they would not be congregating all stood side by side, 150 of them in Hyde Park. All right, they wouldn't. Now that's a fact, because their self-inbuilt mechanism would bypass their stupidity. And their stupidity is that they're taking their orders from superiors, which they call superiors, yes, Gov, and they're now kneeing us in the chests, kneeling on our heads, standing on our heads. They seem to enjoy putting our heads in the tarmac and scraping our chins across the tarmac. They seem to enjoy bashing our windscreens in and filling our face with triplex windscreen. They seem to relish dragging us out and beating us up and tasering us. And they love a bit of it. And I think it's got to stop. And I will bleat until my dying days. That will be my last breath. Nurse, before I go, you must stop this evil. And we need to do this. We've got to do something. Sad but true. Trish, it is. Missing my perks at work, Patsy, we've just done that one. So, you know, we have to be very cautious because we're living in very dangerous times. And Hyde Park proves just that yesterday. Oh, am I pulling this paint up? No, I've just painted my... I've just finished painting the old office. I've painted all the desk and that. So I'm pretty much there now to keep bringing all these lovely broadcasts here, and I hope you're enjoying them. If there's anything you want us to talk about, please just comment in the boxes, and we'll touch on the subjects that interest you. So the Daily Telegraph are saying thousands of road haulage companies weeks away from shutting down forever. Forever. And what would that do? That's food shortages. That's you not being able to put food on your table. And that's what this second wave is. When they're talking about a second wave, they're talking about the devastation coming behind all of this so-called lockdown. We're going to touch on something here which goes back quite a way. An individual called Saint Corona. Coincidence? I don't think so. The elite have their custom rituals, Gematria, godlike, Moloch and Baphomet. Moloch is reversed in the Vatican to this day. Everything. I don't know if you've ever noticed the Vatican City and where the Pope sits, there's these big windows and two big windows up top. And if you look at it from the aerial view, it looks like a snake. So Saint Corona is a patron saint of plagues and infectious diseases. She is also worshipped from March until May. Her feast is May the 14th, and that is when the Pope has a Global Education Alliance meeting with world leaders on how to re-educate the youth of the entire world. Do you know what? I hope that the kids are off school, and I hope that there's thousands of parents out there, right, that are now thinking, let's homeschool our children. I would have loved my parents to have done that. I really would have. I really, really would have loved both my family to home educate me. I've just been sitting in on a family round the corner where they do homeschool their two kids, and it's brilliant. What the mum, and she's an ex-school teacher, and she come out of it. Apparently, there's been guns, rocket launchers removed from a Crawley house. And apparently it's saying that within the house, it looked like they were preparing for a war. Interesting times we live in, ladies and gentlemen. We are in really, really, really interesting times. So, Hyde Park yesterday, look what the pig's done to a guy whilst he was on the floor. This guy, they've dropped him, and I've got to show you this. I'll have to get some sort of a platform where I can get a screen within a screen. If anyone knows how to do that, incidentally, check this out. Watch. Oh, have that. WWF. Did you see him? Boom. He could have cracked his rib, and Andy's just had another go. And you've got private reporters there with their cameras out. And then all the old bills surround and they get away, stand away. We're dealing with an incident. Man, I tell you, it's very reminiscent of scenes of Germany in the 1936s and around them times, you know. Just thank God they're not shooting us all yet. But them times might come, you don't know. Because if they're prepared to do things like that, just wait till they get the order, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. Just wait until they get the order. So, yeah, we're in interesting times. Schools want kids' passport details. Why the hell would schools want kids' passport details? We're in really, really interesting times. BBC working on the next story. What's that about? A kid with a boot in his head? There. Fail or falseful? Watch the video. The anti-lockdown protest in Hyde Park. This poor lad. He's probably at home today, like he's probably got an ice pack on his ribs. Do you know how sore the ribs are when you get a dig in them or you break them? Oh, my life. We need to disband the police. Sorry. Because there is no law and order, let's be honest. Law and order packed up. And has it ever been law and order? I don't think it is. You get burgled now. Get burgled. Hello? Yeah, no, we don't come out for that now. Excuse me, what do you mean you don't come out for that no more? No, we don't come out for that no more. We don't do no fingerprint dusting. We don't look for burglars no more. No, we're not doing that. Just ring your insurance company. Boom, phone goes dead. Oh, how convenient. Thank you. How convenient. You don't come out for burglaries. You won't come out for little old dears that have been bashed up in their own homes. But if a bailiff turns up, oh my life. Let me tell you, they're round the corner waiting to come. They're there on the scene in 5 minutes. What's going on? Oh, I don't want to deal with this. Well, don't worry, we're coming in anyway. Stand side, you're breaching the peace. No, Constable, the only one breaching the peace here is you. Because you're subverting us and you're allowing these thugs, these corporate thugs, to bash us over the head with a corporate glove. We ain't having it no more. Ladies and gentlemen, what are we not having? We're not having it anymore. We should say no. We're not their property. We are so not their property. James Delingpole was in Hyde Park yesterday for Breitbart News. Corona cops threatened to arrest Breitbart's James Delingpole, an anti-lock protest. We know that the CPS have said that the constables have no right to enforce these ministers' wishes and to enforce this lockdown, social distancing. They've got nothing behind them to allow them to do that. All they're doing is using weapons of war and force and violence against us. People, we are in 1936 Germany. I hope you're paying attention. I really do. I'm not being romantic. I'm not being sensationalisms. This is truth. We're in dangerous times right now. Real dangerous. Just Fishing, hello gorgeous, says second wave already hit China. They were dropping dead in China, apparently. People, have we seen that in England? I don't think we have. All we've seen in England is the government subverting us and placing everybody in fear. And everyone's too scared to challenge the government. No, I can't challenge the government. What's the matter with you? Where's all your backbones? We need people with backbones. What can we do to stop living in fear? Click, turn the TV off. Bob's your uncle. You're a winner then. Throw the thing out the window. Turn it off. Stop listening to the news. Just watch Cagney and Lacey. Do whatever you want to do. But you're listening to that news. You're reading them. They have the narrative. Well, they did have the narrative. They don't have it so much now. Trust me, they don't have the narrative too much now because people are like, yeah, we got this. We know what's going on. They know what's going on. People know what's going on. They know that they're being conned and swindled. That's the truth right now. People now know that they're being swindled. They know what's going on. It's brilliant. I'm really enjoying seeing so many people waking up now. It's brilliant. It's so nice to see that this country is finally having to look at the truth. It's like someone's got hold of their heads and they've now got to see the truth. They've got no choice but to. You've really got to start paying attention, and you all are, and that's fantastic. So, the police violence that was in Hyde Park yesterday. Look. Someone tell me something, right? Why have these not all got PPE on? Why have these not got masks on? Do they know something that we don't know, ladies and gentlemen? Because I tell you, if there was a killer germ, they wouldn't be stood by the side of each other, ladies and gentlemen. They wouldn't. They would not be stood side by side enforcing the will of an imperialistic regime. And that's the truth. We've allowed a Gestapo to set up camp on this soil. God, I tell you, it's all going to come out. In the next couple of months, you're going to see this all fuzzle over. It's what it's going to be like. You've all had a bottle of champagne, right? I've got loads of the stuff indoors. I'm not a real lover of it. But I've got loads of bottles of champagne for golf stuff I've won over the years and this, that. I've got a penny farthing that's like a big wine rack. On one side of it, it's all full of champagne. And the minute that cork goes pop, it goes fizz and it all bubbles over the top. That's what's just about to happen. You are going to see a proper bubbling over coming Big Willie style. I tell you, we are going to see, you're just going to see this roll out. There is no choice now. All your freedoms, you're locked up. It's a joke. And you've not been locked down. You've been locked up. Me, I've carried on as normal. But I've witnessed so much locally of people in so much fear. Oh, put your mask. What have I got to wear a mask for? NYC yesterday in New York City, they've put circles on greens. Looks like artificial turf. So that everyone can sit and sunbathe and being told to sit in a circle. Are you going to do what you're told, ladies and gentlemen, or are you actually going to grow a pair? Hello, Dave. Mark Bradby. Hello, Gorge. Nice to... are you in Sydney? My cousin Lisa Witcher lives in Sydney. You might want to look her up. In Oz, where's Dad's Army? It's people in numbers and not by oneself when going out. Aha, safety. Exactly. In Sydney, beautiful. I bet the weather's lovely out there, gorgeous, isn't it? Ooh, might come out and see you. Yeah, my cousin lives in Sydney. She went out there years ago on a visa. Never come home. Stayed out there, and she's doing really, really good. But we're going to see this. This is, trust me, people, with the food distribution firms going to go bust. You're going to start seeing things really, really, really go mental. And I tell you what it's going to be like, right? Is in Germany years ago, they just started to print money and print, and it wasn't backed by anything, a bit like us. And they ended up in a thing called hyperinflation. And we're in hyperinflation. This country is in a thing called hyperinflation, right? For sure it is. you know, you don't need the evidence is in front of you. £20 note now don't buy you nothing. £1,000 years ago, and you was quite wealthy. Now it goes in no time. £1,000 ain't worth a carrot. So we've seen this. We are in a hyperinflation. So what they did was, people were wallpapering with it and going you'd have to take a suitcase full of money to get a loaf of bread. And you're going to see that happen. I think you're going to see that happen. I really do. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that's why they're crashing this thing, because they know that this currency thing and all the other stuff's got so far out of kilter. And like I've said before, the monetary stream, what is it? It's just something that puts a noose around their neck, right? Around their neck, because that's all the reason why the old bill come and kick your doors in, take your kids, take your cars. It's all for them sweet dollars. It's also they can keep churning out this system of hyperinflation. And that's why they've become so evil, because they need to keep getting all the money to fight all these illegal wars. They're in a really bad place right now, right? And they're crashing big time. This government is crashing right in front of your eyes. I hope you can see it. I really do hope you can see that this is all come crashing down around their ear holes. It really has. Why? Because they've got involved in an evil doctrine, and nothing's been based on goodness. It's been based on a darkness and an evilness. And that's the reason why it's come crashing down. And that's what this lockdown and this world thing is all about, because it's all about, it's because it's crashed, people. It's crashed. And there's strong evidence supporting that Jasara and Nasara, this new banking thing, is going to be a truth. Now, a friend of mine who's been dealing with the banks accessing her treasury account for quite a long time, photos of armed protesters in North Carolina carrying a rocket launcher, shotgun pistols were ordering food from Subway. So it looks like it's all going to get a bit medieval out there. But she's been dealing with the banks, and she got a phone call from a woman in a bank that was just nipping off to Geneva because of this coronavirus pandemic scamdemic. And she said, "We've been following your Facebook page. We follow you with great interest." She said, and she said this woman knew so much about her, she couldn't believe it. She said this woman must have had a crystal ball. She said, but she said, "You've posted on your timeline about Jasara and Nasara, the new banking reset." She said, "I can tell you 100% it is coming." A bit chilly coming into winter. Thank you for your wisdom if you like. Yeah, my brother lives in Brisbane. Marky Boy Witcher, he lives in Brisbane. He's funny. You'd love my brother. And he's been out there about 10 years now. And he loves it. He loves Oz. I've not been out there yet. I shall have to sort myself out at some point and go out and pay him a visit for sure. Beautiful, beautiful country. We really are. And look, everyone's scared. There's something here, a woman in Spain giving out free hugs. Oh, South France giving out free hugs. No one's going near her. What does it matter with people? If I walk past that woman and she's giving out free hugs, I'll be straight up there, have a good old squeeze up. You're too right, I'd have a squeeze up with her. Oh, look, people are being careful. She's blindfolded. She don't know who's coming in. There's a few people walking past going, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to have a hug." People, we're all part of the same race, right? Are we not all part of the same race? We're all part of mankind, aren't we? And here we are looking at each other